That is one big pilot.
For a modern gaming audience.
Why are you running?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We're communists.
Woke.
Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
I'm cured! Praise God!
He vatored! He vatored!
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
For a modern gaming audience.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
Welcome to Nerd Wars. Sorry about that. Welcome to Nerd Wars.
Please clap.
Yes, please applaud. Mama Badger knows rules. It's mandatory. This guy knows, and he's working on becoming too Hollywood for us, but currently we are still holding him down here with us in chat.
My people,
How you doing,
us to
Bad?
the stars.
You
No, I'm
still
great.
you still got the tingles going, or?
I'm doing fine. I'm living in a surreal timeline where everything's falling apart for the world, but for me, it's going swimmingly. That's the duality.
Oh, I know, right? And so you've been like making it big in Hollywood and anti-Hollywood, whereas I have spent the last like 6 days or so reading comic books, manga, playing video games, watching anime and horrible TV shows like The Acolyte and good shows like House of the Dragon, and then playing video games, all literally because of you in chat. Because of people like Laud, and especially people like Tomac 2 days in a row, dropping a pre-stream Hundy. We are no, actually, I'm sorry. I was gonna read this, but Mr. Voice Actor Man, we're gonna need some voice acting for this beginning quote.
What is this from, though?
I'll do them all. Well, he says Bloodborne, but I have a feeling it might be Bloodborne.
I'm gonna give him generic, tough, like pseudo-British guy.
Please.
We are born of the blood, made by men by the blood. Undone by the blood, fear the old blood. And now that the Bloodborne quote is
Bloodborne.
Now that the blood... No, I'm pretty sure he meant Bloodborne.
No,
I hope he meant Bloodborne.
Tomac does not make mistakes.
The Naludborn quote is out of the way. How about we add Brotherhood of the Wolf after all the Hunter's outfits may be entirely lifted from this movie? Jesus Christ.
Sounds good. My question
is...
Go
back to being born of the blood.
The last 3 I think he's had me add are gonna have have subtitles. What do you think? Is this gonna have subtitles?
Probably gonna be a lot of werewolf shit, and it reminds me of a horrible video game that I bought for like $2 on a sale and played for like 3 seconds. It was like a werewolf game. It was really bad.
Yeah, my response was that's the name of my first album. Also reminds me of like the kiosk they used to have in the 90s at the mall where it'd be like the wolves howling at the moon or whatever. Also those vibes.
Shout out to Sons and Shadows. They played your eulogy on Film Threat on the so shout out, dude.
Badger's got the stamina for now, but eventually we all get burned out. We get, turned into Az's and Jeremy's where we have to run off and talk and play video games instead.
We'll see.
So we need others like you to step up and help be those reinforcements. And that's what Badger was, and now he's bigger than I am, and now I'm riding his coattails all the way to the top, baby.
Stop it. Rising Tide. Started watching that new show, Those About to Die, and it's really because I heard it sucks, but isn't this the one with Sir Anthony Hopkins, and it is basically a gladiator show? Yeah. Well, hey, if you're liking it, give it a chance. Love that thumbnail, by the way. Yeah. Shout out.
Hail everyone.
Good luck with that.
Pleasure having you.
Oh, poor Jar Jar getting punched.
Mr. Suing.
My thought is if we can manage to hit another Hyundai, I'll have to watch another movie. And we got the Beetlejuice trailer that I was pretty freaking disappointed by. I have not seen the first Beetlejuice. So I think if we manage to hit another Hyundai, we probably have me watch some Beetlejuice. What I did watch, though, and I actually thought about bringing up the trailer from like a couple days ago, where they had added like just 1 or 2 little clips from Deadpool and Wolverine, where I'm like, why, this has me so hyped. And then they put out the final trailer, and it made me feel things, Badger. It made my cold, dead insides feel things, and I'm really excited for this movie.
Well, that's a dangerous prospect.
I know!
Not you being excited, you feeling things, but I'll allow it. And it's true, Lod.
I'm pumped.
Chris Gore, bless
Let's hear about
him.
this.
Bless him.
Oh, you did a little gladiatorial combat.
When Beardo came on, Chris had to entertain himself and had his Beardo rather go against the actual Beardo. And yeah, he won in the vote of we went back and forth super chat reading. What can I tell you? Beardo is the superior testosterone gentleman, and he definitely doesn't skip a leg day. That was all CGI. That's a propaganda against him.
Mama Badger out here calling for a recount. I love it.
A lot, by the way,
Fixed,
a lot
100%.
of you in the chat were fucking calling it fixed and asking for recounts. And I want you to know, I saw that you're the best chat, the only chat. We all know it was rigged. We all know it was rigged. Gonna get him next time. Beardo, gonna get you. Yeah, shout out Beardo.
We'll have to invite him on. And then I can have 2 super chat readers to show just how professional I am.
Rig the count.
So we got 40 plus here. I think we're going to need to watch that Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. Apparently they had already showed it earlier. I don't care. I want to watch it again.
I was half paying it, I was half paying attention when they played it on the daily. So here we go.
It's not just the comedy and action. This is the trailer that shows it's got some heart too. And I just watched Logan for the first time. I just rewatched Deadpool 1 and 2. I've been loving the Deadpool comics.
Yeah, so you're good. You're good and ready for it. You're good and primed. I get it.
I was ready to receive.
Yeah.
I know I turn everything into a joke.
It just starts off serious.
I want to use that for something important.
Deadpool is more a good guy than anyone in the Acolyte.
I just realized that was the 20th century.
Yeah, I know. That's the first time they showed that.
I'm hilarious.
I waited a long time for this team up.
Graph Web's so upset right now. I'm sorry.
In my world, you're well regarded.
Yeah,
You're
seriousness.
Fuck that, you were the X-Men. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world. Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine.
Yes! Yes!
This guy used to beg
I
me to
sit
wear
at the
ice.
bar. Giant smoke monster actually looks cool.
Beast.
We got
It's
Mad Max.
It's the one character where no one's going, oh, look, they gave us the pathetic hero. It's like, nah, it sort of works for Wolverine. He's a...
But I couldn't
A
help
lot of
thinking I wanted
pathos.
to be there.
So she's the one I worry about. That's supposed to be Professor Xavier's sister.
So everything I saw in here, I was okay.
Yeah. Like we said,
And-
if this
and
is just traditional good boss and just happens to be one and it's not what they do, yeah.
Rewatching the first 2 and Deadpool 2, like he makes like Fox and Friend jokes. He makes like some kind of wokey jokes, but then he also like makes fun of Negasonic Teenage Warhead or whatever too. So it's like, oh yeah, we're lesbians. It's like, oh, that's woke. But then he like makes fun of them, but then also loves Yuki and they always say hi to each other and it's freaking adorable. So it's like, even if they like, for those who might have forgotten, there might be a couple jokes people consider woke in here. And I know people are going to go in really not wanting to like it, which is perfectly fine with me. I'm going in to really enjoy it. Similar to what I tried to do with the Acolyte and immediately
I just paid $16 for the matinee though. But if you go afterwards, if you go to like the light, yeah, you're going to be paying $25-$30. Yeah, I know. Welcome to Biden's economy.
Oh my God. Well, I have the unlimited pass. It's like $18.50.
9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone.
Family.
But you know how to save it.
Go and pause it for me real quick. So I had been wondering about how they were going to be time traveling and whatnot. I totally forgot at the end of Deadpool 2, he takes Cable's time travel thing, and then he does a bunch of funny stuff, kills himself, like accepting Green Lantern and whatnot. So I was like, oh, well, yeah, duh. So he's fucking with the time, presumably brings Vanessa back, and then the time police come after him.
And do you get this reference? One moment to be a hero.
4 or 5 moments.
Yeah, but I've said this is the moment when it really comes down to it.
Yeah, I know. It's so good. And between first and second, they had a lot of good callbacks.
Whoever you think I am.
Yeah, what's that going to be? Some machine fuckery? This screams the end of Suicide Squad right there. What is that?
I know, right? But as I've said, I am okay with girl bosses as long as they are the bad guys. The problem is when they make the protagonist the girl boss.
I'm more thinking like Deus Ex Machina, like what the hell is this device thing? I mean, that's obligatory jokes there.
You got the wrong guy.
Is this supposed to be Galactus or from
No, I think
like the Fox?
I think
it's
she's
her controlling
creating
it.
Yeah, it's just like
Smoke
purple
Monster. Is that
smoke monster.
Coral
But it
from
looks
the
good.
Acolyte? That's what Anasea was turning into. Yeah.
And then this. The cameos are going to be
Jackie.
good. I hate this. I'm excited, Badgers. Talk me down.
I'll let you be excited. You want to jump? I'll jump. I want to do it.
You were always the wrong guy.
I'm told we hate everything.
Till you weren't.
And then that line goes hard.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine. Stop it.
Yes, the energy.
Okay.
I can't. They're them together. I think it's going to be better than the first or second. And the first is freaking good.
You're allowed to be excited about this.
I know. I'm scared though. I'm scared, Badger.
And let me tell you why. This has already been grandfathered in. These gentlemen
Give us one more.
have already proven themselves. And I always say, like, action figures, right? The whole point of all of our franchises is that they're action figures and they're cool as fuck. And even playing with them badly can give us some good product, right? And these are no offense, like, I don't know how to say it. These are men that know how to play with action figures, baby. They know how to treat the characters and the story. And instead of making them gay and lame and making them force witches, they're going to give us what we've been wanted that make, as we heard, grown men on set weeping, seeing Hugh Jackman in the full
It looks good.
shit.
It looks good.
And
so Lady Deadpool, this is one of the things where we'd be like, of course, but it's presumably going to be Blake Lively, his wife, which is all good, and she's looking fine. And if you see, there's like a Deadpool with like a spur and a couple other Deadpools, and then the dog also has the
Could be a
Deadpool
bunch of
costume
different
on.
variants.
So yeah, lots of Deadpools. But
by the way, I'm not going to see it in 3D or the fucking 4D, whatever that is. I just went to the Cinemark XD.
It's been a long. I used to see 3D all the time because that's all they would have at the IMAX, and it's like I want to watch the IMAX. And one of the reasons I actually stopped seeing movies, oh my god, it's because they told me I had to pick the seat I wanted to be in, and it's because I just wanted to go see the IMAX, and they were all in 3D, and I was so sick and tired of 3D.
So I got, like I said, one of the last seats on for a Friday. So in between Pre-FNT and Inside the Badger Den, I will see it, even though we'll be talking about it the day before, and you can spoil the shit out of it. Unless chat yells at you. Chat might yell at you not to do it. So,
well, we're also not entirely sure what we're going to do with the next Thursday stream. When we're going to schedule that exactly?
It'll be fine because it'll be the day after the meetup. Shout out to the 24th if you're going to the Gabe, I'll tell you, meetup in San Diego. I'm going to be there.
Beetlejuice.
I didn't watch this.
Beetlejuice.
I know watch.
I didn't think the first one looked all that interesting. The music was probably the most interesting part, and this just didn't really sell me. And you guys might think I'm crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot my download speed is terrible on the 5G. But let's maybe watch Beetlejuice. Maybe then I will like it. Anyone seen it? I didn't really. I was not interested.
Yeah, but you also have.
Meanwhile, I'm getting like chills for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Maybe you would have stunning chills had you really watched the first Beetlejuice. That might be missing some context for you. If only it was on your very large list. Giggity.
I mean, it looks fun, but it's not really getting me out to the theaters, and that's me having an unlimited pass. Oh,
Beetlejuice.
He looks a little rough, which I get.
Well,
Beetlejuice looks
dead.
Supposed to be, yeah.
But yeah, you're saying
he's got me like, okay, yeah, this is interesting. I might have to see this, but they haven't really shown too much of this story. The evil woman's back. What is ex-wife or something? I'm guessing. Some people get sucked into a phone. And meanwhile, I'm out here like evangelizing for Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm assuming ABF went to the RNC. So
Yeah, I know. We haven't seen him around for a while. Like, I
that's what I'm saying.
genuinely,
Hopefully he's made his way back.
him not streaming Monday or being on the GCA stream, like, I
Get a little worried.
genuinely, I used to like schedule things around watching like all the bigger channels, and now like the thing I most look forward to is our people, our little.
You know
streams.
they're gonna, yeah. You know they're gonna show the worm, and there you go. Jet says it. He was at the RNC.
Excellent. Well, that's actually good transition.
You know, the fact that everyone just knows. I think he was just at an airport this morning. Yeah, there you go. ABF, he's just known.
So I'm just going to bring this up very briefly. J.D. Vance, who got picked as Trump's vice president. Variety is furious at Hollywood for creating monster J.D. Vance. So
yeah,
here's what happened. He had his like memoir Hillbilly Elegy, and so some Hollywood producer was like, "Oh, we want to like look into the the Trumpers. Like, why would people like Trump? And let's look at the Hillbilly Elegy. That'd be great. We can clickbait. We can call them a bunch of rednecks and whatnot." So they made like a Netflix documentary or whatever about him and his book, and now it's like trending on Netflix and is being really watched, and now Variety is really mad that they made it, trying to like go after him to make him look bad, but instead just make him look good, and are now basically supporting him by having a Netflix documentary out there about him.
JD wants to abolish the ATF, which is bad. Is it though?
No,
is it
based.
though?
He says based.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying bad. He said based.
Oh, did he say base? Oh, my base.
He
oh
slipped
my God.
some extra letters in there.
Base.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
Isaac.
That. Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, but is it bad? Yeah,
Isaac's
no. Good.
one of our edgier members. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be supporting
I don't even think that should be edgy anymore. Have we not proven that a bunch of these fucking letter agencies are beyond corrupt? Beyond corrupt, and have just turned into little fucking gangs? Yeah. Shout out, Isaac. I'm right there with you. There with you.
Corrupt as Hollywood award shows, maybe? Oh,
Dear
gross.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he did. Dancer belt would have been used. Should have been used there.
No, these look like when Badger sent me his Spider-Man cosplay.
Infected.
That's what it looked
I got
like.
infected by Beardo. Sorry.
Kimmel guest host Anthony Anderson from Blackish, which was an okay show and then went full woke and sucked. Anthony Anderson urged America to step back from vitriol. Moments later said being white is J.D. Vance's only VP qualification. These people are crazy. Also, so here's my question. Would you guys prefer... Oh, wait, no. He also said he won the White People's Choice Awards. So would you prefer the White People's Choice Awards or the BET Choice Awards to run the country?
It's ironic because I wanted the skinny little Indian dude to be the VP pick, so I guess we're all raging
I wanted
racists.
him to be the presidential pick.
Yeah. So I don't.
I mean, he didn't stand a chance, obviously.
I was waiting to see how the spin would be, right? Because now they sort of can't get away with calling him the things they used to. All the thems, Trump, anyone. Now they're sort of just like they're trying to do it like sidewise, like, oh, he just went back to his apprentice persona. Oh, he just yeah.
I also brought this up too because now it's going to be Pounce on JD Vance time, and you're just going to get to watch the media just go like rabid attack dog, which is just, regardless of if you support these guys or not, is certainly interesting and shows that you should hate the media more, which we will actually talk about that later. But Disney, who I should hate more, oh my God, Deadpool and Wolverine. So we finally get a little bit of news about that alleged breach, the hack. Disney's internal communications leaked reveals a den of degeneracy, swingers, and naked bike rides. I saw a den of degeneracy. I'm like, is this that Park Place article? So what excited me? I wasn't
decent
sure.
site though.
Oh yeah, it's what Brandon Morse or whatever guy.
They had some good pop culture ones once.
Oh yeah, they do some good work. But then also it's a little establishment here and there.
Yeah.
James O'Keefe and his O'Keefe Media Group got their hands on internal Slack communication. So
I think
I
this
didn't
is
know
part 5.
I didn't know
so
if
I
it was
haven't
going
gone
to
through
be
it yet.
going anywhere. But I mean, if O'Keefe is on the case, it'll probably go somewhere.
I mean, I believe there's a video. I just haven't read. It should be James O'Keefe's part 5 of, and that's their internal forms and websites basically.
Slack. naked bike rides, including grown naked men rather, riding their bikes in front of children, pride nights on Disney property in communities across the country, swingers meetup groups, company workshops on how to change your name as you transition from one sex to another, LGBT television shows aimed at children, such as one called Who I'm Meant to Be, which is sponsored and sanctioned by Disney, and Disney is actively assisting with sex change surgeries for their employees, as mega corpos tend to do, apparently.
I mean, boo-hoo. You want to just watch the first minute of this?
Sure.
On the inside of Disney have given us an inside look at Disney's internal communications hub, internal employee websites, group chats and bulletin boards, Disney's company employee roster, and their Slack threads. And what we've discovered is so shocking that it makes the Disney tape series look like child's play. Literally, Disney employee named.
Oh yeah, they probably like child's play.
I could give you an idea of what probably Erwin and I will be covering for videos on the weekend, but that being said...
What are we going to cover after the Acolyte?
That secret, not so secret, that they got so ballsy it went beyond, and then there's like the LGB without the T that is now calling them out like, whoa, you guys are going way too far. This is the way too far. And they all wrote it down.
I always make sure to get my sandwiches without the tomato on it.
You mean the red ring of death?
Yeah, Bill Gates. So we got a couple quick video game newses. New report claims same-sex romance options confirmed for Assassin's Creed Shadows. There were some rumors. There were some words spoken that this was going to be a thing. And we got more people saying that, yeah, you are going to be able to have your gay black samurai. Just like you've always wanted, guys.
So I should point this out, that this is a nothing burger that's a something burger. In the sense that, like,
it's an Assassin's Creed thing, right?
You've been able to have a gay romance as either of your player characters since Odyssey. Since Odyssey and Valhalla, I never obviously chose those options because first, it doesn't make sense for the character if you actually pay attention to their lore. They're fucking straight. Sorry. And then in Odyssey, it's like, where was ancient Greece? So they're just continuing it over. And yeah, if you play as Black Yasuke in the feudal Japan, you can fuck a Japanese dude, I guess, because that's who else. What is the other option? It's very good. Very good. I want to get the black tiger. Oh, yes. Shake from Hunger Team, putting that tin down and staring angrily, saying, you know what you did. You know what you did.
I know.
I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. Don't tell Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and 17-year-old Naue, the ninja shinobi that should be a kunoichi or whatever the hell it's actually called when they're female ninjas. What did you just call me? Kunoichi, not kuchiochi. That's a different thing. Yeah, she can also have gay romances. So there'll be Japanese scissoring aplenty. Isn't that nice? Hope it's important. It's important.
It's a good example of, though, we used to give these people the benefit of the doubt, and we used to be okay when, like, you'd have these options. But now, though, even stuff they used to have, now it's just like, yeah, no, this is a problem. And
Yasuke, you will meet me at the edge of a forest, and you will come alone.
Yeah.
Yes. We are incels because we don't want the black samurai to have sex with the Japanese.
Yes, Japanese like a katana-ing.
And my thought is, if you really need it that bad, why don't you just play some Concord?
Yasuke.
Which,
oh my God, this poor thing. I can't make another video about it.
They've actually been doing pretty decent. I don't know how yours have been doing, but Hypno's have been doing good.
Oh, the videos. I thought you meant Concord.
Hypno's videos have been doing better numbers than
I'm
Concord.
not saying I wouldn't get numbers doing this, but for one, I don't want to do this to the audience. You poor people. You all know what's going on with this shit show. Yeah, look. They tried, they failed. We talked about it. Let's just let it fade gracefully into eternity. Embrace eternity.
You don't want to talk more about Da, he/him?
It is. Oh shit, you're making excuses if you don't know what it is for me to fucking do another story about it. It's the game we all told them to make. We said, stop taking our games and making everyone they, thems and gaying them up and adding in these weird ideologies and modern. And so they made Concord, where every character is of the aforementioned, including Da, who the hitbox on that motherfucker must be. Whoop. And it's sucky. It fails. And the people who have played it, it's like it's generic gameplay. Doesn't feel good to play any character. The balance is way off, and you might as well just go play Overwatch or one of any other games that has already done this and done it better.
Do you like women with short purple hair? Well, there's a new character just for you.
Yeah,
But
that
honestly,
was the other thing.
I think I'd rather play as Amari.
Bro, you can't even square this away or like lie away and say like, well, it was only for pre-orders. It's like because they were sending out, as very problematic John says, they were sending out codes to all the different consoles, and it was free for fucking PlayStation Plus. So lie it away. Oh, just like Flintlock, by the way, if that's coming out, that's on Game Pass. I'm not downloading it.
I saved that for tomorrow's discussion.
Okay,
yeah.
well, just to say, it's a similar pathway.
And that one is Sweet Baby Inc. actually involved, which Concord goes to show you don't know who needs Sweet Baby Inc. to go full woke tard.
Bro, people are so over it. They're so locked in now to the pattern recognition. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like in Assassin's Creed, they can have something they used to have, and now it's problematic, which I mean it should be. So, Lethal Weapon, I gave a 9. Honestly, I feel like that might be too low. Lethal Weapon 2, freaking loved. I think I got to put it a half point under at an 8.5.
Thank God you liked it, though.
Honestly, if Mel Gibson had still been a little more Minecrafty, it probably would have been better. Because those intense moments in the first one was what really got me.
Remember, because of his...
He killed them both.
Because of his family connections to the Murtaughs, he's a little bit in a healthier spot. And when he's making dinner with Trish, and they're talking, and she's making the vitamins for him. And here, Martin, make sure to take 2 of these. Did you catch that he put Oreos in the chili?
Oh no. Okay, and that was what the joke was later.
All right, so it's a thing.
Two surprises I wasn't expecting. One good,
Not
one
a cop
bad.
Tonight, Raj.
Apartheid. The good thing the bad thing I was expecting.
Now you'll understand whenever I do
that
because he's black. I'm not racist. Well, maybe. No, I'm doing the fucking that joke for Lethal Weapon. But yeah,
they went.
But you're black.
They went full master race, and I will say though, the master race woman. And boy, you get to see her plenty.
I mean, that's a bit of a. They're not German; they're South African. But yeah, no, he's a good bad guy.
Yes, excellent, and hot bad guy as well. And then she dies right after realizes that they'd also killed his wife, and he's all
Alphonse. Alphonse.
I hate to do it. I hate to do it to Riggs, but I prefer Riggs to be on the edge and like ready to throw it all away personally.
He had some good moments, man.
And then the other surprise, Joe Pesci. Oh my God, so freaking good. What the heck?
The drive-through.
Like every moment. And what he added, that little like wild card to their little dynamic was. I can't wait for what the.
What about the kid? I bet he's got an automatic. Huh? Look, a Beretta. Which is not an automatic, but
yeah, he's like grabbing for their gun. Immediately like him. That's
the Three Stooges as they're slapping around. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, like Forrest Gump, Deadpool, like Lethal Weapons. These so good at making immediately like the characters.
And yes, our boy Star Wars Theory is on FNT tonight. That's going to be very interesting to see him. That's going to be a struggle session for that poor guy when they talk about Star Wars. And
yeah,
I approve of it.
Don't let this guy ruin your fun. A few years ago, he would have been creaming his pants and sobbing over that horrible cameo. I don't know if they're talking about Yoda or
talking about Plagueis, but
yeah, old wrinkle face. He's a bitter grifter now who can't show love for Star Wars because his new far-right friends, that's you, Badger, they're talking about you, won't like him anymore if he did. Sad.
Yeah, I got the pleasure of telling Drinker to his face that fucking Star Wars Theory subreddit thinks that he's a Confederate, wants the Confederate to rise again or some shit. He's like, what? I'm like, don't ask me how it maths out. I don't know. But yeah, the hate that he gets is insane. And again, no receipts ever because there are no receipts to be given.
And as you brought up, he used to get hate for being too positive. And for being like getting emotional because he loves seeing Luke so much. And then that was getting emotional for new Disney Star Wars. And then all they do is make fun of him for it. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then
can't win.
Well, yeah, wait, Lethal Weapon 2, yeah, excellent. And let's actually just...
The end, because Lethal Weapon 2, you were right. The catharsis of, there's a lot of the setting up him being able to dislocate and pop his shoulder back in.
I know. I was like, that has to come at some, because it's such a weird scene. I'm like, this has to come back. And as soon as they put him in that jacket, I'm like, okay. But then he sees the girl just like floating there, and I'm like, no, boobs. I mean, girl.
I say, Brian, while true, he's not using that. He's using the Beretta 92S or whatever the fuck it was in the 90s. So it's a standard like semi-automatic Beretta. Yeah, but that is the 93R. It's a dope ass gun.
And Joe Pesci's character is an absolute sleazeball bad guy money launderer for gangs.
By the way, when you realize they're my age,
you immediately like them and root for them. I honestly, if a character had to die, I would prefer Riggs or Murtaugh die over Joe Pesci's.
Bro, Murtaugh at this point is only 2 years older than I am, and Riggs is like,
really?
He's 40 in the first fucking movie.
Okay.
Turning 39 tomorrow or Sunday.
Old.
Yeah, old. We're not too old for this, by the way. Yeah. By the fourth movie, they are very too much old for that shit, though.
I will say, though, I am getting too old for this shit.
I just aged 10 years. Sorry.
I brought this up for anyone who hasn't had to watch it. So they did this a bunch in the whole season, but they really did it in episode 8 where they would do the close up on Amanda's face, and they'd like do even like a little slow zoom, like you were supposed to like feel something or whatnot, but she literally cannot act. So yeah, Disper, you can't blame the Acolyte directing when it literally tells the actor to change expression and they don't. Yes, she's not capable of doing it because she can't act. Here it is. In real time. This is it. This is they/them's acting. And then there's a little Yoda for funsies if you didn't see it.
I love it. By the way, real quick, yeah, Riggs does that rolling where he drops to the ground and he spins, but he does it in almost I think he does it in all the movies. Yeah. It's just his you know how Hayden has the Anakin where he spins the shit behind his back and comes out? Riggs has that stop, drop, and shoot roll thing. And I sort of approve of it. I think it might work.
I mean, I don't know about you guys.
I would not expect a dude to drop to the ground, start rolling, and fucking capping off his gun in my general direction. It might work.
Call of Duty, I took the crouch off like the circle button and put it on the R3 for the tactical, just so I can do the dolphin dives and the prone shots, crouch, whatever it is. But yeah, any game or like an Overwatch. I actually ruined a keyboard because the A was my crouch button, and you like crouch spam in that game. So like
camper,
dude, I'm the opposite of a camper. That's why you got to be doing all the movements and whatnot, and not play as characters like Da, he/him, and
very hard to be to hide.
Yeah. So like, I don't even. Da done distracted me now.
You brought him up. You summoned the devil. You're talking about you jumping around and you wore out your crouch button and all that shit.
I use all movement abilities in those sorts of games, so I fully support him doing the rolling around on the ground nonsense.
Yeah, it's called the Trump. It's called the Trump now, where you zig and zag and you turn at the last second.
Yeah. Drop down. The woman behind you hides and cowers in fear.
Oh, and the someone high up in the FBI is behind you recording, and we now found that out. That's that lady that didn't move at all and then started pointing. Yeah, that's fun. Allegedly in Minecraft.
So before we get into the media being full retards, so we've got the one person I liked had to go and open their mouth and talk to GQ, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. Is this about being thirsty?
I know. I think this is a different one than that one, but it's probably the same article. But this is with GQ's Yang Eagle ahead of the then upcoming 2024 Gold Gala, a cross-industries award show meant to highlight and honor those various Asian Americans who have excelled in their respective fields. What month do they have an award for white people who have excelled in their respective fields?
Every month is white people awards.
Oh, really? We should stop doing that because that sounds super racist. Or am I just crazy?
No, you're based in common sense. Common sense. Maybe that's going to come back.
Yeah, once we hit rock bottom. I know there are plenty of Star Wars fans that look like you and me already, says the Asian person interviewing him, because otherwise it'd be racist if an Asian didn't interview the Asian. But it's exciting that in this new iteration we have Lee Jong-jae, myself, Amandala. Who would like brag about having a Amandala? Jodie Turner-Smith. Now even more people of color will be able to relate to and celebrate and see themselves in this entity that is Star Wars. You are a bad guy, just how they're like, oh, black people and women can be space Yahtzees now. Now Asians can be evil space Yahtzees too.
Yeah, ever so nice. Ever so nice. Even though it already attracted many diverse people, as we saw in all those videos of the past, people waiting to see and talking about the toys. Yeah. Well, revisionism.
Oh my, I actually didn't read past that. I think the best part about The Stranger is that he's this avatar for not feeling accepted in a society that you're trying so hard to fit into. I feel like he probably didn't do a lot of assimilating with the Jedi, and that's probably why he got whipped in the back by Vernestra and left to die, apparently.
Just because you brought him up, I do have to bring up this when talking about it. When he was talking to IndieWire.
Well, it's they flipped the hypersexuality around. Is it that?
Well, he says from the start we had a clear motive in terms of how we would lure in Osha into the dark side, and it was always this idea of seduction. She really wanted to explore that idea of intimacy.
She's a lesbian, though. They make a point to say she's a lesbian with Jackie. That goes nowhere. So
no, she goes both ways, bro. She goes both ways, and so when he says it was a cool thing to explore, so we definitely leaned into that aspect of thirst, one might call it. So they thirst trapped you.
He was just a himbo.
Trapped you.
Yeah, it's a honeypot, honey trap.
Yeah.
But they used jacked arms, which honestly got me. His jacked arms is what got me to first like him. So I mean, the thirst trap worked on me too, apparently.
Yeah, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. All right. Yours back.
Yeah, thank God, because I just read this line and we need the chat to see this one. Leslie has expressed that she's always felt that way as a female showrunner, as a lesbian in this industry, that sometimes people don't take her seriously. I wonder why, Leslie. Because you're a hack and you help lead women into being... Oh.
You know what's funny is we both have Abounding, and it's using the same picture, even though it's covering different things. But this fight that is in your picture too.
Wait,
go down that. This fight
I was going to say which one of us is going to have the Archbishop in our article.
Yeah, no, that's part place. But so this one right here, this was the fight, by the way. Remember, we kept hearing there was a fight that was going to be better than the Phantom Menace, and it was going to be better than the Matrix train station fight.
I thought it was episode
supposed to be the
5.
Nope. That's the fucking one. That's what she was talking about. Yes, she thinks that Saul
way worse.
That Saul versus the Stranger is supposed to be the fight that was better than the Phantom Menace.
I kind of liked the fight, the last fight. That one sucked.
It's all right, but it's not anywhere close to. Yeah.
I mean, he whipped out his little like Shoto blade, and he was just like, he could have just killed him at any moment. Hell, Soul could have killed him at so many. It was so stupid.
Yeah, speaking to her creative process and bringing the scene to life, she says we were shooting for immortality. We were like, we are fucking going for it. We want to top Duel of the Fates, and we want to top the train station. We will settle for nothing less. I will leave it up to the viewer as to whether or not we achieved that. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, we achieved that as far as I'm concerned. So that is the fucking reality that she lives in. A delusional one.
I remember watching all the movies with my parents growing up. If I'm weird, somehow your Filipino family somehow was able to enjoy Star Wars. If I'm completely transparent with you,
VHS.
Star Wars was cool. It was something I admired somehow, but almost from afar. This is where he goes full Kimball Air and shows this woke mind virus at work. Maybe because I didn't see anybody like me in Star Wars. It was never something I'd aspired to be. The way I'd watch a Jackie Chan film or something and go, oh, I want to do that. Kid, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're racist. There's something wrong with your brain.
Fuck that pronoun Beaver. He besmirches the good names of people who mistakenly say Beaver instead of Badger. But also this one.
Why did he rip out the wires? Darth Basil. I called it. I said Darth Basil, Darth Maul. I think we got Darth Basil confirmed.
Papa Burgundy, she didn't even cast anyone. She just went, every single actor that she worked with, she just chose, and they all said yes. She wrote Osha and May with Amandla in mind. She went to Squid Games, dude, Manny, all of them. She and her wife, obviously. She didn't actually have to cast anyone.
Well, yeah, and then didn't she wrote it like planning to cast certain people too?
That's what
right?
I mean.
Like she wrote
That's
the roles.
she wrote them with them in mind, and then they all fucking took it. But racist.
I'm trying to decide
Marriage.
what brain rot to go to next, and it's kind of hard. Okay, so we got the Forbes guy, Eric Kane, who actually was doing pretty good. A dreadful season finale, and the cameos can't save it, and he tears it apart, just like we would. Thank God, because for some reason, he didn't mind the last episode. I don't understand.
Yeah, Papa, I got you. Yeah, she has strong arms for like holding down things and leading them places and like, yeah, threatening to, if you ever say anything.
Her acting when she
allegedly
found him was ridiculous. And then this is the end. They literally hold hands. Just in case you weren't sure she was a bad guy, they hold hands.
As Darth Plagueis stares at them from his hidey hole.
From
his hidey. And confirmed it's Darth Plagueis.
No, it's Jar Jar
Jedi
Beaver.
Master Seppuku.
For
$1.99. Jar Beaver.
Yeah, I hope that Basil leaves Hollywood.
Now, see, the Sith Empire and culture did allow for love and passions and romance and shit, while also being cutthroat and shit like that. But this ain't that, right? So it's a little. They're not Sith, though. I'm telling you, they're just Darksiders.
Even if that's Plagueis in there training him,
well,
Plagueis not count?
We're certain she doesn't even confirm they know each other, and Plagueis might just be there creeping, keeping an eye on things and getting the ideas.
And he doesn't know Cor.
He doesn't know. Yeah, well,
the Acolyte might be woke, but the Force is not. The one conservative thing about the Star Wars universe. This article is as insane as you would thought. So, they went on to Reddit and found one of our people on there who wrote a big thread called Woke, Wobbly, and Steeped in Feminism. Its substance? The new Star Wars show is way too black, doesn't have enough white people, has no white males of note, and the white women who are Jedis appear like they are all lesbians. Accurate.
No, Mog is all that is man.
As if this were not enough, the key planet in the series is run by a lesbian community. A black woman is the queen of these galactic witches, and her daughters, conceived without a man, are black and have, get this, a white mammy. And then if you actually go into what he quotes from the article, it's literally just a normal complaint. I watched it. It's complete woke bullcrap, and the hate against white males is real, correct. In the second episode, we see two white Jedis. One is very unsympathetic, and the other one just kills himself for feeling guilty. A Jedi Master who kills himself, what BS. And this was I assume a commenter or something. Doesn't even quote them, except for when they make fun of appear like they are all lesbians. And then goes on some other tirade about how Star Wars has never not been woke. As its creator and first director, George Lucas, explained to James Cameron, the father of blockbuster Marxism. What?
Yeah.
The inspiration for the Rebel Alliance was the Viet Cong. Put two and two together and you get the U.S. as the Galactic Empire. Is that true, Badger?
I mean, yeah, you can take mild overtones of an empire society, empirical. Yeah, but that's, again, using woke in a more traditional term, not what we mean in current, the shit that James O'Keefe is popping out and anti-whiteness and all that. That's just classical terms of, yeah.
Well, apparently the only right-wing thing about Star Wars in its latest spin-off, The Acolyte, is the concept and function of the Force. He basically says the Force is physics, and there's a push or pull, that's about it. And then he says it's experience. He describes the Force as physics and experience. You want to see this guy?
I mean, I've already had
I thought he
explain it.
I thought he was a woman.
Yeah, no.
It's just Charles Tondare Mutede just wearing a pink dress.
No. By the way, just because no one cares about that man, and George has already explained the Force. We do care about Plagueis, and she talked about him. And they asked if the stranger knows Plagueis is there, and responded, "Let's leave that up to the future." So a good question for another time. And she says it should feel like a display of power. It should feel creepy when we see him. I think they achieved that. It's important that he be in the cave because, the call's coming from inside the house. I read that and I thought of you. He's already there in a very intrusive way. So if he's there in an intrusive way, he's there without Chimera knowing. And what I think is going on with Plagueis, that he also knows this is happening. He also is aware, or will quickly become aware, of this aspect of the Force existing. So exactly what we thought. They fucking cucked him. And by the way, she seems to think that Plagueis is the one that created Anakin. She completely missed the point of that book, that it's them fucking around with the Force, and failing is what made the Force create Anakin. He didn't. It's not so yeah, this is a complete gross misunderstanding
They didn't
of
have
the
to
lore
do a
they're
bunch
stealing.
of chanting, though?
Or have a Virgins in the Force in a pit and an aligned fucking eclipse.
Well, dude, that's what this gets into, is all the Virgin stuff. Quotes a great anti-vitalist chemist, starts talking about quantum mechanics, and quotes Albert Einstein, a philosopher and a physicist, and then says, in this sense, which is far more democratic than Jedi Order, there's no border between the spooky-seeming quantum realm and the sober Newtonian one of forces of pulling and pushing. So this is them trying to say the Force is science, and that the Acolyte might be woke, but the Force is not article. These people have lost their damn mind.
That's called baffling with bullshit, is what that is.
And I want to go ahead and apologize for The Verge. Who is not blinded by the orange of The Verge? The Acolyte's first season made Star Wars Dark Past feel like a bright future. Season 1 of The Acolyte was a masterclass on deepening Star Wars lore rather than just playing into its nostalgic past. Instead of giving the fans what they wanted, they deepened the lore, Patrick.
And speaking of nostalgia, because we were just Fight Club, the ending of Fight Club is apparently what that was based on, that you just showed, where they're just sitting there holding hands, looking out at something. I want to clarify.
No, wait, that end is so good, and the Pixie starts playing,
referring to the stranger, Chimera and Osha. She says, "I want to clarify they are not necessarily doomed or destined to fail as a team, but the Sith rule of two denotes a power imbalance." God, they always have to say it that way, which clearly, due to the final shot, is not their relationship. Also, Plagueis complicates their journey as Sith because we know his apprentice is eventually Palpatine. They will not defeat him. This bitch does not know what she is doing. She does not. I don't know what's going on. She doesn't know what's going on. If they give her a season 2, which really depends on if she asks for it, because I think they will if she asks, even if it has shitty writing.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it, pussy.
Do it.
You want.
Do it. I'm like Rorschach screaming at Dr. Matt. Do it. Just fucking do it. Nuke it. Nuke it. Nuke it all. It doesn't count. It's not real Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars. And it's funny. It's like She-Hulk. Give me more She-Hulk, too. That was hilarious.
Have you considered that maybe we just watched it wrong? But for all the ways that the Acolyte echoed Star Wars stories that came before it, yeah, I didn't feel any echoes.
Boy, they fucked up.
The Yoda echoed briefly. The back of Yoda's head was a brief echo. The series understood the importance of using those parallels as, see, this is what we didn't get apparently. They use those as parallels as thematic texture to strengthen its own ideas rather than points of fascination solely meant to keep viewers watching. So they weren't just member berries out there. They were thematic texture to strengthen its own ideas, Badger.
And I want twerking.
Kiadi Mundi was alive for the thematic texture. You know,
that's right.
You see Yoda's like wrinkly ass green head. That's actually thematic texture back there.
Oh, and I'm sorry because this one fucking. Don't you understand that it was fixing a plot hole from the Phantom Menace?
Oh God, yeah, I don't know what this is. Please tell me.
Oh, because you see, when Yoda says only two there are, a master and apprentice, this means that he's apparently referencing the Sith rule of two, which he shouldn't know about because Bane created that 1,000 years before. And if they hasn't seen the Sith in 1,000 years, how does Yoda know about the Sith rule of two? Well, he wasn't fucking talking about the Sith rule of two. He just meant in the dynamic of a Force user, chicken and egg. There is always a master and an apprentice, and they don't know which they killed. So it's not a plot hole. So this is because basically what you're saying is it's a good thing that Yoda is a lying piece of shit that knows about the Sith and lied to the other Jedi, because otherwise that comment would have been a plot hole. It's like, stop. First of all, the rule of Sith 2 didn't exist in 1999 as defined the way it ended up being. So it became a plot hole retroactively that really is a plot hole only from a certain point of view. Like I said, he's just talking about master and apprentice relationships. But you're going to start seeing a lot of these Cope articles.
Oh, well, I've got something
that's
probably going to make you not very happy. The cavalierness with which Soul tries to assert his authority over the girls' lives is precisely what leads to their home being destroyed, asserting his authority. The Acolyte's exploration of how a lack of oversight gave rise to deceit. A lack of oversight. That was the problem, that the corrupt Senate wasn't doing an oversight. It reminds me of them saying that the Marvels failed because there wasn't enough oversight of the DEI black woman director. It gave rise to deceit within the Jedi Order, made its story feel like a nuanced, if unevenly paced, the worst pacing in the history of pacing, deepening of the Star Wars franchise's larger ideas about how absolute power can corrupt those with the best intentions. He was trying to save these poor girls from an evil cult of demons. What made the show a compelling watch early on, though, was the way it used characters like Anastasia to present the Force as something. Here we go, Badger. The Force is something almost too multifaceted to be defined by the traditional light-dark binary. Oh my God, Leslie Headland and all the people who worked on this are fucking evil people. They are chaotic evil if this were D&D.
Yeah, and even that, by the way, if you were to have like a deep Star Wars discussion, that is sort of true. The Force is so nuanced that it can almost be a gross simplification to say like light and dark, but also there's very clearly the Force in the perversion of it is dark. And so there is a light in the dark, even if it's nuanced, but they don't understand that shit. That's just their fucking narrative trying to do power dynamics and stuff, not actually understanding what that would mean in Star Wars.
If you read the old stuff, it tells. Oh my God, get it out, whip it out. Here we go. So Luke turns to the dark side to try to defeat Palp.
It's a clear line.
If you go anywhere towards the dark side, you get sucked the fuck in. So the gray area itself is dangerous for the Jedi to be around.
There is a gray area. Now, you can have the Freddie Prinze thing of like, there's no fucking gray Jedi, bro. And yeah, you're right. Because if you're truly following the Jedi code, you're not going to be gray. That being said, there's a little area in between. You most of the time get sucked into the dark. But I always go back to the Kyle Katarn thing of like, I know it gets, when he says force powers aren't inherently good or evil, I think he means because yes, some force powers are inherently evil if you do it with certain Sith techniques. But like in general, like Luke can shoot green lightning from his hands, not Sith lightning, and he's not using his anger to do it, but it's the Force. So it's all about intention. But yeah, and Jolie Bendo talks about that too, where like, no amount of light or dark will really change you at your core, which is why Vader's able to be redeemed, which is why Luke is able to come back. And then people like Sidious, who were corrupt from the beginning, are the ultimate evils.
And this is the whole, because the dark side is so alluring. Freaking Osha went head first into it, barely even pretended like she was resisting, and she is going to be sucked in there and turned evil. If she does come back, it took Leia saving Luke in Dark Empire, or else he was just doomed. He got sucked in. Leia had to come save his ass, and that's because they had that special bond. So you're telling me May's evil ass is going to come save her from the dark side?
It gets fun when you do shit of like, this is why people like Darth Revan and Darth Caedus later on. That's Leia and Han's son. They go to the dark side on purpose. They choose to, and they do it for very specific reasons. In the case of Revan, as you saw, when he meets the true Sith in the Sith Empire, and he realizes that the Empire is about to invade the galaxy, he goes, I'll be your vanguard. And he turns to the dark side. But really, he does this because if he just came back and said, hey, I met the Sith Empire, they're going to invade, we got to get our shit together, no one would believe him. So he just became Sith and was going to take everything over and then be prepared for the true Sith. And same with Caedus, he saw that like maybe falling to the dark side for the right reasons might be, now it all fails eventually, but because the dark side is dark side. But it's interesting when you mess with those ideas of it. That's the fun stuff. But you got to have good intention when you write those stories. You can't try to subvert everyone's expectations and get some own on,
What do
power
you mean?
dynamics.
They subverted expectations, and all the media is telling us this first season was an ambitious and ultimately successful exercise in proving that Star Wars can be so much more than nostalgia-addicted rehashes when Disney gives it a proper chance to be. So instead of giving the fans what they wanted, they gave us a 15% audience score, The Acolyte.
I think you're going to need to amend that to 16% good, buddy.
Front door?
That's right. Yeah.
Fortification. I need a recap.
Fortification. Yeah.
I need to change, and that is literally fortification, because that last episode, it made me legitimately angry. It was so incredibly bad. I felt insulted, like I was being
up FNT
disrespected.
Yeah, and I kid when I say I want a second season. If you're going to do a second season, go ahead, because we'll all profit and we'll laugh at it. And we don't consider it real Star Wars. That actually is a real nice thing. And I saw it during all of the funeral on Film Threat and just in conversation with you guys in different streams. I have not seen one person that considers Disney Star Wars Star Wars. Everyone else makes a clear fucking distinction between pre-Disney and post-Disney. And I know the Disney stans don't like that.
Where is the logic? Star Wars fans want to see Darth Plagueis, sees Darth Plagueis, becomes angry that we got Darth Plagueis. At this point, it's all a joke. Are they just playing dumb?
Dope. Yeah, talking to them. Good peeps.
So they're like, oh, we didn't just put these in as nostalgia bait. Oh, you didn't? And then that's the thing, is we don't want them. It's like, we want Plagueis. We just don't want you guys to do Plagueis.
Right.
We don't understand why they just hate everything. Meanwhile, I'm hyped for Deadpool and Wolverine.
And us clarifying that, like, no. This should be who's who here. Doesn't mean we want them to show up. We're just saying, well, if you're gonna do it, that's who should be there. But then, dear God, please don't do it because you'll mess it up.
We would have preferred Coral be there. Because the story, it would actually make sense. But then if it did that, there would actually be a story, and I wouldn't be so angry. And clearly, they actually work for the Sith, and they're actually trying to make us angry by making it so bad, because we were like fueling some galactic like destruction engine or something.
I did wonder if she knew. So she did say they're very proud of the character design. She says, obviously, we're doing a moon because like this is what the species looks like. The head of the banking clan, there's the MUNN, there's the moon species, and this is the most common depiction of Darth Plagueis, this one and this one. So, I mean, honestly, I thought that when it came on screen, that really looked more like Grievous, like the Khaleesi or Khaleesi, like from Game of Thrones, the species of Grievous. But yeah, that's supposed to be a moon. But just from that, I don't know. Maybe just because you can't see the lower half. But and then just the whole creepy thing.
And it was just so thrown in. That was probably the worst part of it all.
Yes, it did seem like an afterthought. That was the other part.
Have you hated the corporate mainstream media enough today? # do better, says Nerdrotic. I love these. I'm always trying to do better, says the drinker. John Del Rose, yes. So that's followed by... Wait, actually, I need to send this to you. Let me pull it off because we actually need some...
Kalish. Sorry. That's the problem when you are like a Star Trek nerd and a Star Wars nerd and a bunch of like Mass Effect, and there's like you have like 5,000 fucking species, and you're like, wait, what was it again? Yeah, Kalish is General Grievous's, and it looks like they wear bone plate armor and shit.
Private chat. Which, oh yeah, the Grievous, actually, I read this Visionaries, one they have where like they screw Grievous over and create him. It's actually pretty good. But I really liked this. So this was like the concept artist for like one of the prequels or something. And one of these guys does these amazing ass just Star Wars city paintings, like the old school, like 70s. My boomer buddy has a bunch of like the 70s, 80s, like random ass sci-fi art. Oh, this stuff, man, makes me want to travel to stars. And this sort of stuff used to give us hope for the future.
That looks beautiful.
Yep, we'd have hope for the future. But now in sci-fi, we're all just enslaved.
Is this the thing?
Yeah, this is Rachel Maddow talking about JD Vance. So let's go ahead and let it roll. You'll hear.
Like Mr. Teal, who has named his companies after things in the Lord of the Rings series of J.R.R. Tolkien books. Lord of the Rings is a sort of favorite cosmos for naming things and cultural references for a lot of far-right and alt-right figures, both in Europe and the United States. Peter Thiel names all these things after Tolkien figures and places, like his company Palantir, for example. Like his mentor, like Peter Thiel, who had given him all his jobs in the world, Mr. Vance also, when he founded his own venture capital firm with help from Peter Thiel, named it after a Lord of the Rings thing. He called it Narya, Narya, which you can remember because it's Aryan, but you move the end to the front.
She said it! You do not hate the media enough, guys.
Is that how you fucking remember it? I'm alt-right Rohirrim. Get it straight. Get it straight. I'm alt-right Rohirrim. Wow. Bro. She lost her mind. She lost her mind a long time ago. Bro, I used to watch Rachel Maddow like years ago.
Oh, my condolences.
Yeah. That's the thing. Do you remember when Tucker Carlson was on here? They used to lead into each other's show. It's in the same timeline where everyone liked fucking Trump back in the day. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, no, they've all gone insane. They've all gone batshit insane. Oh,
so before Pre-FNT starts, we need to have our tax deductible comic book segment. And I found yet another Batman Judge Dredd, the ultimate riddle. Dude, the art in this is freaking hand painted. It reminds me of the Man Bat, like Elseworlds I got. I freaking love the hand painted stuff. It looks so gritty and grimy. One of the things I realized, especially watching like Lethal Weapon 2, is bring back film grain. Oh my God. And then this is one that Badger didn't know about. I told him about, and he immediately purchased it. Batman: The Abduction, and yeah,
Batman Abducted.
That's a great alien abducting Batman right there, baby. And then I hadn't heard of this, but I see Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan, and I buy the Joker, Devil's Advocate. See him missing all the hair. It's so weird seeing Joker without the green hair.
It is.
But this is basically Joker is on death row about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit, and the only one who can get him off the hook is Batman. But will he do it? Oh my God, Ian, bro!
So 10 Nerd Wars memberships.
Ian!
What's going on, bro?
Absolute pleasure having you here, homie.
Recognize, always fun. Always fun.
Ian's a perfect example of why we have pre-FNT, because you know they're going to be late, and that's what we were here for.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, Star Wars Theory is probably explaining like what cortosis is and bleeding of lightsaber crystals and a bunch of other things. And shout out my B-Bro.
We are getting close. So 105, 115, 117, 167. And we get we'll call it like 20 more bucks. I'll watch some Beetlejuice or whatever you guys want. We are.
Yeah. You should.
Close.
You should.
But we only have
The Line of Fire. In the Line of Fire is what I'm trying to get him to watch.
Only a little bit of time. It's on there. But yes. If we hit it, we might have to get it. All right. So, and then,
by the way,
Visionaries kind of suck, but man, the art is so good. And it just reminds me of how much we have lost.
Speaking of de-escalating, there was a very lovely speech last night of someone who said he was running to be president for everyone.
Please? Yeah, I actually didn't see it. I saw Hulk Hogan. I figured we'd talk about this tomorrow. But the Trumpomania, that was pretty great. But tell me how his speech was, because apparently he changed it after what happened.
Oh, well, he came out. He said everything that he went through, the events of that day and what he was thinking and feeling, and, did it in Trump fashion.
Dude, Sith, Republic pinups, war propaganda, come join us. Yeah, fly for the Empire with hot Sith ladies. I mean, long live the Empire, baby. Wait, who said that?
Yeah.
But so you were happy with it?
Yes.
Did you watch it on Cobra Cast, I assume?
I did. I watched Jay and Beardo.
We get our politics from our nerds now. I freaking love it, man.
Yeah, no, and then we all knew when this happened. Remember where I did the Paul Atreides, and I see a very narrow window. That's Sidious using the dark side to obfuscate the dark. Anyway, I saw a very narrow window.
It's very gray. This isn't evil, Badger. Just because he looks like this doesn't mean he's evil, and you should stab him to try to save a child.
One with the Force. So basically, Trump came out. He did the great unifier timeline where he's saying he wants to be president for everyone, not just half the country.
Oh, and
instead of every race and creed, I extend my hand to you in friendship, and it was a whole thing. It was good. Mo Zamboni,
I'm not
20,
watching the Ten Commandments, Mo.
as Yul Brynner in 10 Commandments said, "So let it be written, so let it be done. You guys are destroying it." No, great appearance on Open Bar last night, Badger. Everyone was
that
bouncing
your
off you.
old Hebrew accent?
Yeah.
That
So
took
let
me
it be
a
written.
second.
So let it be done. You guys are destroying it. Great appearance on Open Bar last night, Badger. Everyone was bouncing off you. Pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Hail. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Again, I'm living in a weird timeline right now. Very surreal.
My question then is, do I watch Beetlejuice so I can
what
appreciate the Beetlejuice trailer more, or do I watch In the Line of Fire for Badger? Or what are we thinking? Because we're at we're almost 106. They got to be
I
starting sometime
suggested
soon.
In the Line of Fire because the other day he wanted a Clint Eastwood. It's got John Malkovich, and it's very little on point of a former CIA person maybe trying to take out the president, and then a Secret Service who failed to take out a president trying to defend him. It's a nice little cat and mouse game.
And I should be watching Rambo First Blood today. So what are we thinking, chat?
Shout out.
What are we thinking? No, not Bunny. I'm not watching the Ten Commandments. That's a Easter movie, okay? Just like how apparently Die Hard's we're not talking about it anymore.
If I were a rich badger.
And then next I got some Joker coming up.
Oh, they started.
Ooh, starting? All right. I don't
have
see.
started.
I'm doing Beetlejuice because I've been wanting to do Beetlejuice.
There you go.
I'm doing
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Pleasure having you all. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday, we are going to be in Line of Fire.
Mo gave you $20.
Okay. All right. We'll do Line of Fire. And then Sunday, it's this dude's birthday. So we are going to be giving him all the super chats on Sunday. You guys are the best.
Love you guys.
I appreciate you so much. I get to watch the most amazing movies and shows and play the games, and you guys somehow pay me to. I freaking
Go
love
give
you
love
guys.
to Star Wars
Oh my
Theory.
God.
Go give love.
And thanks for all the fish.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Good, then get the hell out of my life. Who needs you? Beat it. Leave me alone.
I needed to get rid of the human garbage, otherwise known as my best friends.
Come on.
Bonnie, how do you keep getting back in?
Well, bye.
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean that either.
Bye, everyone. You guys are the best.